Hi, I'm Pete, and welcome to Just a Few Acres Farm. Today is the big day. We're bringing our Dexter cattle back together after breeding season. They've been separated for 6 weeks now, and the way they were separated is we had one group to be bred by our bull Titus, a second group to be bred by our bull Orden, and then we have a third group which is behind me here. These are our cull cows and cull heifers, and they're to stay separated because they're going to the butcher next year and we don't want them bred. So we'll be bringing the two groups back together today. The way the 6 weeks went is the first 3 weeks, because a cow's heat cycle is about 3 weeks long, we saw each of the cows come into heat one by one. We assume the bulls breed them, although we rarely actually see the breeding done. We put the day on the calendar that they were bred, and then we watched them another 3 weeks to make sure that nobody came back into heat. And sure enough, nobody did, so we're comfortable bringing them back together now. To recombine the two breeding groups, all I have to do is open a set of gates and let them do their thing. Everyone seems happy to be back together. There's lots of kicking up of heels. It doesn't take long for the two bulls, Titus and Orden, to catch sight of each other. They spent the last 6 weeks trash-talking each other from over the fence. Now that they're back together, it's time to establish who's the boss. At first, Sammy thinks he can square off with Orden, but that doesn't last very long as Titus approaches. Sammy's been headstrong lately, but he's certainly no match for either of the bulls. They will butt heads and push each other until one yields. This competition can take hours, and both will be exhausted by the time it's over. The winner will be the one that's less exhausted. All the cattle are excited. They run back and forth between fields to check out the areas the other group was in during breeding season. But Titus and Orden care only about each other. The rest of the cattle figure out that the barn door is open and all rush in to see what's in there. I brought in 2 round bales before I opened the gates.
Carrie, I haven't seen you do that before.
The bulls aren't the only ones who are fighting for dominance. All up and down the line, cows will challenge other cows to try and move up in the pecking order. Coco, the red Dexter, is trying to move up and challenges several of the older cows. And still the bulls go at it. In years past, the black bull, Titus, has always been bigger and stronger than Orden, the red bull. But Orden has grown to be just as muscular as Titus, particularly around the neck. They crack heads. That's gotta hurt. They're getting winded and take short breaks in their pushing to regain their breath. There is some civility in this fight. They have periods where it's like the end of the round bell rang in a boxing match and they both take a rest. Some of the calves stop to watch. This is their first time seeing their fathers fight for dominance. And still the herd runs back and forth, trying to sort out this new situation. Sometimes one bull temporarily gets the upper hand when he pushes the other backwards quickly, and the other bull loses his footing. Doesn't take long for the other bull to recover, though. The younger cattle play at headbutting. It doesn't seem as serious, like they're mimicking and learning the behavior they see. Skulls pop. By the end of this, both bulls will have raw spots on their foreheads. I think Orden's muscles are ripped more than Titus. They really stand out through his coat. And then, of course, there's the new neighbors, the turkeys, to check out. And still, the bulls fight. They're both pretty winded now, and the breaks between pushing matches get longer. Maybe Titus is trying to look tough by pawing at the ground, but Orden is not impressed. It's an even match so far. Meanwhile, in the barn, some of the cows have discovered the hay, and things with them, at least, are settling down. I went back out after dinner to check on the cattle. The bulls had quit fighting. Titus was back to his usual job of butt sniffing, but I'm afraid he'll find no joy there. All the cows are bred.
Hi, Orden. How you doing, buddy?
Orden is way over on the other side of the barn, checking out the heifers in their pen.
Oh. You're warm.
He's still breathing hard, and he's hot to the touch. He tries his come hither call on the heifers, but they're off limits. I think day one of the bulls pushing match was a draw. They both quit because they got exhausted, but they'll keep fighting over the coming days until one establishes dominance. The next day, Hillary and I decide to put the cattle back on pasture. They've been eating hay since August, and it's time for them to clean up the fall fields. We drive the fence lines with the super seed to make sure the deer haven't run through any of them. They'll look okay. By the time we get back to the gate, we have a few customers waiting.
Look at this guy. Where have you been? Burdock. That could hurt right there.
Yeah. He's got a big dingle there.
Come on,
I call the cattle that are in the barn.
Come on, cows. They know something's up. Come on, cows. Yeah, something
something better than hay.
There we go.
Come on, cows!
I feel like the Pied Piper leading them all down to the pasture.
The Pied Piper. Come on, cows!
There they go.
Finally, they see the pasture and take off running.
Oh, what do we see?
Don't forget about me.
And me. And me. Little ones. Lots of alfalfa down here. Not a lot of other grass, but alfalfa.
It's so rewarding to have the cattle back on pasture, even if it's only for a week or two. Recent rains have greened things up a bit. I think the bulls have set aside their battle for the time being.
Hey, Titus. How you doing, bud? Yeah. There you go.
Mr. Orden, how'd you fare yesterday? Orden, at least, seems to prefer to stay away from Titus. I have a feeling they still have unfinished business.
What? You don't want to be near Titus?
I don't know if you guys have ironed out your differences yet.
Just play keep away.
The cattle have 5 acres to roam in this field. This has got to be the place where they're most content, and frankly, it's probably the place where I'm most content too. The rocks seem to like this place. I think they're moving here from the neighbors' fields. I got to talk to them about that. They're always popping up out of the ground. It's been an eventful 2 days for our Dexter herd. The cows are back out on good greens and they've got calves in their bellies now, so we're good to head into winter. The bulls, on the other hand, are unsettled. You can hear them whining back here, and I think they got some unfinished business. We'll see how it all works out. Thanks for joining me. Have a good day, and I'll see you next time.